everyone. First of all, I want to leave clear this is not a video about just pure buffs and nerfs, which is also that worries me. The approach of Blizzard has had with Necromancer, the weekend of the beta. This is more about going deep into the design problems of class like Necro and what can be done to improve this. There's all these buffs and nerfs that go up and down, and we'll see what happens in the future. But I think the core problem of Necromancer is something that it's going to take a bit more to fix than just a few numbers up and down, and that's the Book of the Dead. Now, I think the solution is not that hard. So even that I don't have a lot of faith of Blizzard's balance, I feel like it's not like this whole work that needs to be done to fix it. But first, let's talk about why the Book of the Dead is problematic. You experienced Necromancer this last beta. You could see how on Friday Necromancer summons will just obliterate it. From level 3, from the moment you get it and did the first boss in that tutorial dungeon, so to speak, it will get one shot. All the minions will get one shot. And then later on, with all the points on, with the health, extra health from the minions, even you try to heal them and debuff your enemies, they will still get one shot. Not even by powerful minions or powerful attacks. Later on, they will buff the Necro, but still the minions will feel super weak compared particularly with the first beta. And you could argue that the first beta minions feel OP because make everything so easy. But that's the problem, right? Necromancer, unlike other classes, gets in his specialization, you get free minions, you get mobs that you command. Whereas most other classes, you have the specialization that is just passives that add value to skills that give you modifiers, and you have that with the Necro, sacrificing the pets, right? And that's fine. The problem comes with the other part of the Book of the Dead. If you don't sacrifice the minions, you have an army at your disposal just by leveling without any point investment. And that's the problem with something that doesn't require investment in a class design. It's going to result in either it's good, okay? It's not doesn't have to be like super good, but just by being good, the fact that it's free makes it look OP because you're going to invest in something else and the minions will just be an addition to that power level that you have. And if you try to balance it out and tone it down, even if it's free, it's gonna feel bad because they're not gonna be useful enough, and you're gonna just, in the case of this balance, you're gonna just sacrifice them to get the passes. But that's not the point. The sacrificing part, from the science standpoint, should be just for caster builds, for Necromancer archetypes that wanna have that synergy with wanna have those passives, that extra power, and not rely on minions, right? So caster builds that a lot of different sub-archetypes in Diablo 4 for the Necromancer. But still should be room for a Necro with summons. And it's a problem because the fact that these minions are free is gonna make it problematic to balance them out. So my solution straight up is, well, maybe Blizzard's not gonna do this, at least for a long time. It's just add those minions as a requirement in the skill tree. So for example, we have here the Skeleton Warrior Mastery, right? This should be a passive after a skill that should be Skeleton Warrior. So the more points you spend, the more Skeleton Warrior you'll get, and you should have a passive that damage and health, for example. And then with the Book of the Dead, you will change that warrior, that flat warrior, into something else, right? Either skirmishers, they are here skirmishers, or defenders of reapers, right? This will impact what you already invested on the tree. With the mages, you should be able to do the same. You spend points in the mages, and it's fine if you cap the amount of mages and warriors you can have, because by being on the tree, you can have plus skills, right? Another way of enabling and scaling that is balanced, because you're going to need to have amulets that have plus skills, and that's going to feel rewarding. So you can cap, right? After, I don't know, 4 points, even you put more points, you won't get an extra mage. That's very easy. You'll have here health and damage. So, and with the golem, what I will do, because part of the problem is not only the damage or the health in general, it's gonna come up to the point that you need resistance, you need armor. So what we can do here in Golem Mastery, have the golem, right? You spend points in golem and increasing, getting more golems. The golem maybe gains damage and gains health. Have a couple of passives here that not only affects the golems but all the summons. That way you can balance the scaling of the summons into late game, either providing with an armor or that gives PDR, physical damage reduction, and some resistance, or you're dividing the physical and resistance that you get with your minions. I feel like that way you have to combine the Book of the Dead, that is free scaling, similar to any other class. In fact, a bit more powerful with the fact that you can sacrifice the pets on any given time, with the fact that you're gonna need to invest points in the skill tree, balancing it out, and you'll use also some gear to keep boosting and balancing the minions, because you can argue that with the Paragon skill tree you can get all that scaling, and that's enough. And if minions are weak early game, with the Paragon 2 will fix everything. But I don't think that's good class design. First, because summoners shouldn't be weak early game. You have bodies early game, you should be fine at least. And also because a build like that, it shouldn't feel bad to play early game and then get to late game, you spend points and BOP. I think that will be the best class design for a summoner. Another thing is that any other class, any other archetype already gets Paragon 2. You can argue that the skeleton, the summoner Paragon skill points feel powerful. For example, this 12 damage reduction, 12.5, another 12.5. Does seem powerful, right? So maybe you put points, you put the skills, like I say, on the skill tree, you're gonna need to rebalance it out. But all the other builds are gonna have the Paragon 2. So all the builds are gonna keep scaling 2. So the fact that Paragon compensates for a build that is not good at all early game, it's not even it's good, it's just fairly close to unplayable at this moment. I don't think there's the best balance. I think put the skill tree, even that you add a bit more number of skills in the tree, that's something that maybe they didn't want to do. I don't think it's that many compared to other classes, particularly here in the course skills. Look at the mages, will be another skill, 1, 2, 3. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. That's what I think. I think that's how we could fix this class. I wanted to make this video just to share my thoughts about the balance. Necromancer is a class I love since I played Diablo 2. It was my main. But with the current state of the Necromancer, I don't feel like I want to play the class. It's not because it's good or bad. I'm fine playing the underdog wheels. In fact, I'm going to play a safe shifter druid, probably on release in hardcore. It's the fact that I think the class is flat and uninteresting. I think something like this will help a lot, because you feel like your gear matters more, you feel like your points and decisions matter more. Only thing that worries me is this vision of Blizzard that seems to have that minions and minions will die all the time, summoners will be respawning them all the time. I don't think that's particularly fulfilling. I don't think that's a good design for a summoner, because there's a big downtime where a minion dies, you need to resummon it, the summon needs to go to the target, hit the target. Whereas, for example, you're casting another spell like a bone spear, you don't have that downtime. The downtime is you don't have mana, or you need to reposition, or you need to use your other cooldowns. So balancing minions with the fact that they're gonna die a lot, I don't think that's not the smartest idea for a summoner. Maybe it can work for any other thing, something that might have big cooldowns or big downtimes, but it's very strong. For example, ultimates, right? But I don't think that works for summoner. Summoner, if they should have, is someone should be strong, should be resilient. They're gonna die here and there, particularly you don't go full on them, spending a lot of points on them, but they should feel like that they matter and they're powerful on their own. So I think that by putting these skill points on the tree, making the minions a bit more resilient, but you have to spend points on them without the need of making minions completely useless or die all the time. I want to make this video to share my thoughts about the Necro. It's a class that I main in Diablo 2. It's a class I love, but right now it feels very, very uninteresting and flat. Tell me what you think about my ideas, how to fix this class. Sure, maybe I'm wrong, maybe this is not the approach, right? So tell me you have any other idea, or you feel like I'm on the right direction, or maybe that the summoner is fine. But this is how I feel this class, and I just want to share that opinion. In any case, whether you agree or not, if you watch until this far, appreciate it. Try to keep the video as short as cool. I like making videos about third crafting wheels, but once Diablo 4 releases, I really want to focus on on the gameplay aspect of Diablo. I hope you guys like that content. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next one.